What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. As always, I am Camtastic, and this is In Response, where every other week, 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 0 friends gather around their desks to update you on the goings-on in the CDH world and our personal journeys through the format. Joining me this week, as always, is Nico, aka Mexi Delight. How's it going, Nico?
It's going pretty well. Sad I missed out on the Cosmic Crown tournament this last weekend, but ready to hear some stories of some fun, as well as some upcoming tournaments, and who knows what else.
Awesome. Also joining me this week, as always, is Julian, Magician MTG. How's it going, Julian?
Going great. Had a great weekend at Cosmic Crown. Definitely got some stories to tell. Met some really awesome people. Some awesome people that were surprisingly in our backyard. We'll let you guys know who those are eventually. But it was a great weekend. Looking forward to our guest as well.
Awesome. Yeah, it was a great weekend. But last but not least, joining us this week is our very special guest, Evan FreedomWaffle Pierce. How's it going, Evan?
Good. It's going great. Super happy to be here. Yeah, my name's Evan. I'm a little bit of a tournament grinder in the scene. I do photography for events, part of the MTG Basics YouTube channel, and yeah, stoked to be here.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
thanks for
It's good
coming.
to have you.
Happy to have you.
Well, live viewers, if you happen to miss out on the live show, don't sweat it. You can watch later on YouTube or give us a listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts. But for now, it's time for the show. All right. I've been very excited about this interview. I know we did a little interview with you at Fishbowl. That's where we first met you.
Yes.
Which was awesome. So what you been up to since then?
Yes, it's Fishbowl. Let's see. So I definitely just was at Forest Fight this last weekend, and that went really well. I took first place there, which was
congrats.
a 102 player event. Yeah, thank you. That was super fun. That was Land Go event run by Wayne. Wayne is awesome. Let's see. I don't even remember. I don't think there was that many other events at the end of last year. Actually, let me just look. But I've been doing. I'm working on some new play mats. I sell some of these play mats that I've been partnering with an artist called, his name is Benny Shoga, doing some black and white anime play mats. And so I've got
Cool.
some designs coming soon. So I've been really, really hard at work at that. Very
Super
stoked to share
cool.
that very soon. Yeah.
Are
But
you
tons
the
of tournaments this year.
Sorry, did you say you're the artist on that, or?
No, nope.
Okay.
I have no artistic skill like this. I can only take photos
Okay.
and videos. That is my art form.
I
But no,
gotcha.
I'm working with the artist. His name is Benny Shoga, and
Okay.
yeah, we've got like I think currently at least 3 unreleased designs that I'm really stoked about. So hopefully end of March we're going to start selling. So I'm not announcing anything but that for now. But
I was gonna
that's
say we get a
been taking a lot of time.
little preview, little little Morrow.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. We're too far out. Just a little
Okay,
over a
sure.
month. So soon, though. Soon.
Darn.
All right. Keep us posted. We're definitely interested.
Yeah, absolutely. I will.
Oh yeah, Shoga did the Fishbowl mat, right?
Yes, same guy. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was,
Okay,
I was
cool.
wondering. I was like, I couldn't remember what the event was that I saw that. I was thinking it was MagicCon, but yeah, the Fishbowl black and white.
Yes, they're so
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, he's such a good artist. We're trying to do some color stuff too. That's the one little thing I haven't told anyone else. So there you go.
Oh,
You heard it here
okay.
first,
It'll
folks.
just stay between us four.
not a big spoiler, but here it is.
Love it. Well, so we always love to know a good origin story. You know, as we were telling you earlier, we like to highlight players, content creators, and other people in the community. And the origin story is always just a classic. So, how'd you get started in Magic? Where were you in life? 60 card, EDH, what was it?
Yeah. Well, I started Magic when I was probably in like early middle school, I would want to say. And so I was playing, what was it? It must have been Standard at the time. Yeah, we were playing Standard. And I played that for a while, for maybe like 2-3 years, and then quit for a while. As a kid, you go through little phases. Played in high school. That's when I first started playing EDH. Our professor just printed out decks for us on the school printer, and we played a ton there. That was awesome. And I remember really like trying to push my deck to the limit. I would play those. This is when the counter spells
Did
that
you go to?
would
Sorry, I can't
the
help it.
commanders in the library. Oh, go
Did you
ahead.
go to Tolarian Academy? Is that where you went to school? They're just
I did
printing you
not.
deck lists.
I did not. No, our physics professor was a huge nerd, and we loved it. That's what it was.
Cool.
But yeah, do you guys remember those counter spells? I think one of them was Hinder, where it would like counter
Yep.
target
Oh
spell
yeah.
and put it in their
Mhm.
library.
Spell
And then
Oh
crumble.
you
yeah,
tunnel vision
Spell
somebody.
Crumple, yes. And then
Mhm.
so I basically was the guy who like I mean, this is before any Rule Zero conversations. You just like I tried to do everything possible to make my friends have a bad day in in our commander pod. Like we were all, kind of having like an arms race on who could build the most messed up deck.
Oh, of course.
But anyways, I played for high school, quit, sold all my cards, and then started again. I think in like 2020. Yeah, it must have been 2020. And then got like, playing Commander again, back into CEDH, and I was playing the same deck actually that I was playing back then. The deck that was using Spell Crumple and Hinder was Rasputin Dreamweaver, which is an Azorius commander. It's the only playable Legends commander in EDH, not even CEDH.
Yeah.
And it's a 6 mana for a 4/1. Comes in with 7 dream counters. You can
Oh
remove a dream
yeah.
counter
Okay.
to add a colorless mana,
Mhm.
or to prevent a damage to it. So basically, it's kind of like a 4/8, like yeah. And if it's untapped, it gets another dream counter on your upkeep. So a lot of random text. Point is, it goes infinite with a ton of things because if you blink it, it comes back in the 7 counters. So that was my first CEDH deck ever. I was playing with some friends. They're like, "We need one more for CEDH," and I was like, "I don't play CEDH, but I'll try," because I was like trying to push my deck to the limit. I died so quickly, but I
It's
got
a
hooked
wild
pretty quickly
deck.
because
Yeah.
I was like, before that, trying to push it as far as possible, and I didn't even know that CEDH existed. I thought it was just Commander, and then kind of got hooked pretty quick and tried all kinds of things and got very into it. And actually, California, I went to San Jose for the one of the first top deck tournaments, and that was like my first travel tournament. And then I was like incredibly hooked and wanted to go to all of them. So yeah, I've
Yeah.
just been a grinder ever
So
since.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I'm like pretty sure you and I met through Mox Masters.
Yes, yeah,
The tournament I think that you won, or at least the one right before where you
yeah.
won with Dargo Thrash.
Dargothras.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was So I before that I was playing Marnius Calgar. I'd played a few others, but Marnius was the one that I really like started playing a ton on, or at least tournament wise. And I went to San Jose. I really can't remember that tournament right now, but it was whatever. It was a good one. I lost my win in at that one, and I was very new to the scene. And then I started playing online tournaments, and I top 16 the first one I did. I was like, wait, this is awesome! Like, whoa, what a rush! And then I switched to Dargothrasios, and I think I maybe played one more in Marnius actually, and like did terribly. And I was like, I have to switch. This is a wake up
Mhm.
call. I need to start winning. And then I switched to Dargothrasios. The first tournament I played, I won, and I was like,
That's
oh.
okay. So that's what it was. That was one
um,
that we met then. That you won that event.
yes,
Yeah.
and
I
it
was
was
in that
such a
event as
blast.
well. Yeah.
It was such a
We have
blast.
a
That deck was
viewer in chat
crazy.
who says his Marnius list was actually that your Marnius list was his first one.
Oh, no way. That's sick. I love that. That's so cool. That list was, I loved it. I terrorized locals with it for a while, and then I realized that locals is not everything.
Right? Yeah, it's how it is. Like Cam does really well with our locals, like against our locals, and he did really well this weekend too at Cosmic.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
it's different. I
Congrats.
mean, Cam, you can speak to it. Like it's different. Like
Yeah,
sometimes we can clean shop at a locals, but we go to these big tournaments and it's hugely different.
Mhm.
I think there's like a tipping point where like you kind of start like killing it at locals, and then everybody starts realizing it. You're killing it at locals, and then they
Mm,
all start like potting against you. But
yeah.
it's hard. It's hard to get practice either way. There's like a sweet spot between that tipping point and where you're climbing up, where you get really good
Yeah.
reps in, and you're able to like really like filter out decision making, because there's that point where people know your deck but aren't 100%, don't know your tendencies to it. So you get like I think that's the best point of emulation for a tournament, is like in between there somewhere. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I
Makes
think
sense.
like the best way to get reps is, especially when you're living at locals. I think this is where that tipping point comes, is when you're playing with people who are better than you. And so, like, I remember my locals. There were some really good Magic players. The one of the owners of the shop is the two owners of the shop here, Tavern of Souls. Shout out, they're awesome in Albuquerque. And both awesome guys. One of them is an ex Pro Tour grinder,
Ooh,
just insane Magic player, awesome. Now he's like a huge pre-modern player. But anyways, I
pretty
just
much.
remember losing over and over to those guys, and that's like. Not only does it like drive you to get better, but you just like watching people play good Magic makes you better at Magic, right? And I mean, of course, like firsthand playing against them. So, yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, there's so many moments you can point out where you're standing there watching a game or you're in the game and you're like a light bulb clicks. You're like, oh my God, I've
Yeah.
never thought of that interaction before. And it just changes
Mhm.
your whole navigation of your deck and your play patterns of it. It's
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it's really cool. It's interesting.
So, what was life like after your win on Dargo Thras?
It's weird. I feel like Magic has or CDH from my experience has always had that like weird like micro celebrity thing.
Yeah.
And so
You made a name for
uh
yourself quickly for
yeah,
sure,
which
and
was
it's
like
held.
not expected. Yeah. And
That's like the best thing about CDH community is this whole like micro celebrity, like even in Magic itself. Sorry to cut you off, but that was like one of the things I
no, you're
love
good.
most was pros from the Pro Tour and running into them at Magic Cons and meeting them and
Yeah.
stuff. And like this is like the same thing. Like running into you at Fishbowl was like a fangirl moment. I was like, oh my God, it's FreedomWaffle.
So
Like,
funny. Right. Well, it's so funny because it's just like it's such a just random thing that happened, and it was just like for a long time that was super weird too. And then I remember back in those days there was the whole Mindbreak Trap incident where there was like this whole political thing where basically it was like a discussion about king making and not. I basically didn't cast a counter spell because um, I thought someone else was way ahead of me and had something, but then I had a known counter spell, so they wanted me to cast it, and basically we just both lost the game to the Grand Abolisher that both of us could have countered. But anyways, there was like a whole like Twitter storm about it, and that was like the first thing I'm like, oh, this micro celebrity thing is bad. Like, yeah. And it was like a very very big wake up call. I was like, wait a minute, the
Yeah.
internet is mean. No, but
Mm.
it was yeah. I definitely didn't like stop me from wanting to play. It was just very interesting. That was a I think
That
that
would
was probably
be
the real introduction to like the online greater online community outside of people I knew directly or played in like Mox Masters with. So
Do you have any recollection of like, this Twitter feed, how many people were on there? Like, was it a thousand or 10,000 or,
um I literally made a Twitter because of that. So I don't remember the context because like I didn't remember how big it was, but I just remember there
Yeah.
was like a whole group who I ended up becoming friends with that were like bashing me very heavily, including the guy who didn't like decided to pass priority. This is where there was a whole thing about people learning that mana abilities reset priority. This is like where a lot of people learned that, and like at least watching this whole like thing go down. But him and I became great friends after that. Like his name's Robin from Germany, and he's like actually awesome dude, amazing. And so regardless, it kind of like worked out great. It was like once we found common ground, it was fine, and so that was a good like ending to that just little saga there.
Sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's so cool. Like you mentioned Robin, like from across the pond, like they're a whole country or half the world away, and we're all able
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah.
become friends through Magic.
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh yeah. It's
the
awesome.
gathering that it is, and CDH just lets it be known that it's like you're playing with the best of the best. Playing the
Totally.
best format, the best competitive format.
Totally. Well, I
So
think CDH is interesting because we have like these interesting, like it's such a social format, which has its like ups and downs. Like obviously, like I think that is exactly encapsulated in what we were just talking about. Is like it was such a clash because that's how like social interactions work. But it's also like you become friends with these people, you make like amazing connections, and it's such a fun game. Like and figuring things out together is just awesome. So it's definitely like it could be a roller coaster, but I love it. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was recently explaining to my wife how, we're frenemies during games. Like my opponents are my some of my best friends, but also while we're playing,
Hmm.
like we hate each other. And as soon as it's all over, it doesn't matter, out having a drink or whatever afterwards, grabbing food, and yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you
100%.
land Lotus Petal into a Springheart and Tuco, and then just by circumstance you get Bowmastered out of the game, basically. And then
Yeah.
you just sit there for the rest of the game, just saying, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna do any shit for the rest of the game." And then afterwards, you're like, "Yeah, no, I love you. You're my homie. You're my buddy."
Yeah,
During that game, it
totally.
was just a big middle finger,
It's not, yeah, the salt doesn't come. Even this weekend, I remember we were playing a game in the tournament against Aaron, a Lumra player, and I go like, I have the nuttiest open. My hand is insane. I think a hand is like um Land, Soul Ring, Felwar, or maybe it's like Arcane Signet, Mystic Remora, and I think maybe a Lotus Petal, and I had like Basalt Monolith in hand. I'm pretty
Damn.
sure it
Yeah.
was that. It was the nuts. And I'm on the play. So I played Mystic Remora on the play. And he goes in third seat, he goes, Land, Lotus Petal, Collector Oof.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no!
My man.
And he's like, he's like, dude, don't hold this against me. I'm like, no, I would never hold this against you. This is a great play. I'm just sad. Like, you did awesome. Honestly, I'm stoked you had it. Like,
Mhm.
and it was a great game because of that. So, anyways, yeah, I love that there's not salt most of the time. I mean, like, salty moments happen, right? That's just
Yeah.
Yeah,
like how it works.
totally.
But, like, people aren't salty that you made like I feel like people are almost never salty you made an objectively like good play, right? Like they're
Right.
playing for their
Just
win.
sucks to
That's
play
great.
through.
Yeah, it just sucks to be the
Yeah.
one on the receiving end of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it did.
It's almost
I
more
did. I
fun when your
eventually
homies
won,
do
but
it.
it was fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Totally.
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
remember
when
we
your
were
homies
playing. I
screw
was
you
playing
over.
with Daryl, rude dude, at our California
Yeah,
99, and
I love Daryl.
he's on Magda, and I'm like, curse totem, and he's all, "Whoa, that's wild, bro! You invite me out to your tournament, and then you slam a curse totem on me." And
That's so
it's like
funny.
those kind of moments make it a lot more fun, and it makes it a lot easier to like make those kind of moves on your friends when everybody's cool about it and they understand it's just a game
Yeah,
and stuff. But
Mhm.
Yeah. It's just
totally.
it's the optimal play. It just sucks being the one that's on the receiving end of it.
Yeah.
And I think a very, very important thing is to like have those learning moments. Like when you do play the wrong stacks piece that like throws the game, it's like obviously you're playing to win. You just like made a mistake, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then like
Mhm.
having that learning experience is like rather than just getting mad is a really good way to grow together. And like
Mhm.
okay, maybe the curse totem into a pod of like double rock thrash and Tim Necrom when Tim Necrom's already ahead. Maybe that's not the move, right? Like
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
you're gonna
Threat
learn that by losing a
assessment,
Tim Necrom right
yeah.
after you cast it. And that's
Yeah.
okay. Like yeah.
And
Yeah.
enemy of my enemy is my friend for sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
trying to get people to believe you when you say that. Like, come on, we got to work together.
Mhm.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
we
Well,
gotta work.
that
I
that
love honestly at this point we're like me saying we gotta work together can become a meme like I on purpose just 'cause that's the funniest thing. That's like how yappers are. I'm a yapper, so it's so
You gotta put
funny.
that on a shirt. We gotta work together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's work together. I literally will do that, and then to the next person, let's work together. Like right after, it's so funny. But again, most of the
right.
time, that's
Yeah,
like
we
when I'm
worked
doing
enough
that, it's a
together.
joke.
Now we got to work together over here.
Yeah, but like honestly that's how I play. I'm like, hey, this alliance is when it's in both of our best interests for now. Like
Mhm.
that's the point of it, right?
Yep.
Like as
Yeah.
soon as you're winning, nah, I'm not working with you.
Yeah, you kind of overstepped this alliance. Now
Yeah,
we gotta take you back down with this person.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Like we're all playing to win and like by proxy to not lose, right? Like that's how
Right.
that works.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Totally.
Got a question for you here. What kind of advice would you give to newer CDH players that are trying to learn and some watch outs or, don't take it too hard type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think um really the biggest thing like that is a general piece of advice I think anyone could take especially for new players is what we talked about earlier of play in pods when your opponents are better than you. And I think that like because there's all kinds of little tips right that you can give, but like that's how you're going to keep learning and get better and better. And I think that like don't hold yourself down, like play with your friends who don't have as much experience as you, but like don't only play with them, play with pods of people who like know what they're doing. You're going to learn them fastest and they're going to give you all those little tips as you learn. And I think the other thing about that is like make sure you're focused on like improving rather than just like closing yourself off to when someone said like is giving you some constructive criticism, right? Like if you make a play that isn't optimal for whatever reason, like rather than just being like no it was right you're wrong, think about it, right? Maybe they are wrong, but like you have to like think about that and grow yourself by listening, getting that feedback, and just like honestly just thinking objectively back at the game. Try to like take yourself out of your own shoes and put yourself in your opponents and think like was this play the right play? Like did I like it? Because it's really easy to get stuck in a perspective of, okay, like my game's all that matters, and it's hard to like think outside that box, but you have to. And I think this is a really important thing with politics in general, is like you're not going to be able to make good deals if you can't see why your opponent would want to make a deal, right? You have to like align that motivation with them, and see why those plays happen. So yeah, I think practice is a skill, and focusing on that skill is really, really important. And again, like learning from the best that you can play with is a really good way to do that.
Awesome
Nice.
advice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's one of the things we've kind of been talking about here in the Valley is we have quite a few people that are in the tops of the leaderboard for the California circuit from the
Yeah,
Valley. And we were talking about how it's because we're all playing against each other constantly. Iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. You're playing against the best players, and you just learn so much. Like I remember the
totally.
first time I played against Boros Wayne, like just the little tips and
Yeah,
tricks and advice that he gave me was just like, wow, dude, I just learned so much in one game. Like
yeah.
by just jumping into a match with somebody who's just leagues better than me. Like it's
Oh yeah,
yeah, great advice. I
100%.
think.
And honestly, tournaments are a good way to do that. I'll just put that out there. I think a lot of time, and this is like for sure what I ended up doing to like get a ton of reps in, is I would just be like, okay, I'm always playing my weekly tournament like once or twice if we have it, and I'm just going to like consider these practice games as well. Like you could totally like play your best, but like the best learning moment is when like there are stakes. And honestly, like if it's a weekly tournament that's 10, 20, $30, like is that might be just worth it to like to play against good players, right? And
Yeah,
like
and
get
improve.
better.
Totally.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I think sometimes people get like scared of joining a tournament and they're not ready. It's like, no, the tournament is what gets you ready for the tournament. You just got to do
Yep.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
That's
that's
how we
for
try
sure.
and treat our Friday, our LGS Friday
Yeah,
events. So shout out
I love it.
to Clovis Cards and Comics. That's who we're collaborating with these days. Not sure if we're supposed to use the word sponsor or not right now, but
Collaborators. I
I
think
said it
is
anyway.
fair enough.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
Clovis Cards and
sponsoring,
Comics.
collaborating us.
Yeah, that's who we're working with and trying to pump up the scene here in the Central Valley of California. But yeah, our Friday events, we're trying to regularly hit 16 people. So we're just like slamming bronze events every week as part of the circuit.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so
speaking of tournaments, I was going to ask about your recent tournament and
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah. So I was playing Kinnan in this last tournament, which I've been playing for a while. It's a very good deck right now. I think
The fishbowl version.
I mean, it's adapted a little. It's going to be
Okay.
similar.
just
I've been
no bad
iterating,
cards,
not
right?
reinventing. Yeah, yeah. Kinnan NBC, no bad cards, which is a lie. There's bad cards, but hey, it's the goal. It's the goal, not the actualization. But yeah. So the point of the deck is to basically use Kinnan's mana advantage and combo potential to build a deck around drawing as many cards as possible, and like finding those combo wins, and rather than using the spin ability. So we're not just trying to like spin Kinnan. We want to have good cards in hand, which is like the idea of like no bad cards. We don't want to draw Void Winner, even if it is good to flip into. We don't want to draw it. So like most of the big flips have been fully cut from the deck, and now we're focused on getting a Rhystic Study through a lot of ways. We have or Mystic Remora. We have a ton of clones for Rhystic, and then of course we have like the Clever Impersonator is a really core piece of the deck because you can all your creature tutors become a Rhystic Study if there's one on the field, and we're even playing transmute spells like Dizzy Spell and Drift of Phantasms to find these cards. And so basically, once we have a draw engine online, the I guess idea of the deck is that you'll use that mana advantage to outpace your opponents that are drawing similar amount of cards. And so we maybe both of us draw 10 cards in a turn cycle, myself and a Tim Necrom player. But I'm going to bet that I can cast more of those spells more effectively because I have Kinnan. And that's, I think that's the main idea. And so,
Easily double the
um,
mana. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And at Forest Fight, the Land Go tournament, it definitely went super well. I went undefeated in the tournament. I was 3-0-2 in Swiss, won the first three, and then we didn't ID, but we played to draw in like as in we played until someone forced a draw
Yep.
or timed out in the last two, and then won top 16 and top four, and that went super well. So got first in the tournament.
Nice.
And that was nice after losing in the last 3 top 4s I was in, so that felt good.
Oh,
Oof.
But,
Nice win.
fishbowl included.
Congrats.
But yeah, no, thank you. But yeah, it was Kinnan felt really good. The tech of that weekend that felt amazing was subtlety. And that was so subtlety has been a card that I've been on and off of in actual tournaments and also in brewing for a while. The card is really good. And so I guess for those who don't know, it's a pitch cast elemental, blue elemental. So you can cast it by exiling a blue card, and it will on ETB put target creature spell or planeswalker spell on the top or bottom of that its owner's library, so they get to choose.
Mhm.
But it's really good because it beats uncounterable effects. So it beats Cavern of Souls, Grand Abolisher on Human, and of course
mhm.
Hexing Sculpture, right? Funny enough, Sculpture wasn't that good this tournament, and that's I think one thing that I was expecting. I know Ian, comedian, has been very much saying that it's like insane. I don't think it
Mhm.
is. I think it's worse than Grand Abolisher, and like those decks already have 3 of that. Like they have Voice of Victor, Grand Abolisher, Ranger Captain. It's like how many of those do you
Right.
want to do, especially if this one's worse in most situations, not always worse.
Mhm.
Sure.
And so like removal exists, right? But subtlety helps with that, and it helps just like there's a lot of good creature decks out there that are hard to interact with because creatures are hard to counter, and so having that creature
Mhm.
counter spell like came up a lot. Also against me, it wasn't just like that. Like a lot of people were on subtlety, and it was really, really good every time I saw it,
Really?
including against me. And so that was
What
interesting.
what other decks did you see subtlety in? Were they just Kinnan decks?
Well, yeah, uh, it was the mirror, but it was really good. So, I guess I don't think I
What of
saw it
yours
anywhere
got
other than the mirror.
subtlety away, huh?
No, I saw it in a Tivit deck too. A Tivit deck had it.
Okay.
That's the other one.
Okay.
But I definitely
Okay.
saw it in the mirror, and I would totally have won that game if they didn't have subtleties. So
Nice.
yeah, but
So
oh
this,
well.
I'm thinking back to when we interviewed you at Fishbowl, and I remember you
Yeah.
saying that I think you had, there was like 6 Ristic studies on the table
Oh,
for
geez,
one of
yeah.
your
Yeah.
games, and like you owned
Yeah.
like 4 of them or something, or 5 of them.
That sounds right. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. That was the
So,
Yep.
those games were the best.
That's
so
nasty.
are you on a flash photography now or as well?
Oh yeah, that card's awesome. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily better than Clever Impersonator most of the time because Clever Impersonator is a creature, so it's harder to counter in the first place. Plus,
Mhm.
it doesn't target, right? So like if
Right.
they remove whatever you're copying, they can't like
Mhm.
stop you from copying something else with Clever Impersonator. But yeah, but Flash Photography has been very good. Like
Yeah.
I think one of the games I think it might have even been the top 16. I forget. One of the games I won because I just top decked that and like having another like on turn 2, I think turn 2. And so I ended up
Mhm.
having like a turn 2 fish. And so that like having the more of those effects in the deck is really good. You like I mean there's definitely a critical mass, but that one is so strong because like yeah, I guess there's sorry, let me say there's a critical mass of just non-creature clones because you're not always like those are specifically for Mystic Study Mystic Remora, but you're not always going to have one. But Flash Photography targets creatures, lands, like everything, and
With
so
alt monoliths?
um, right, true, exactly. And so it's very versatile, and that card has been fantastic. And I think one of like the strongest play patterns is well, obviously, other than copying a Mystic or a Ristic, is you can copy a Smothering Tithe. You get 3 Smothering Tithe triggers, and then you can flash it back on your own Smothering Tithe, and then you have
Mhm.
2
Hell
Smothering
yeah.
Tithes at instant speed. So it's like it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, what does Kinnan need? Smothering Tithe. No, they don't.
You're right.
They don't
You
need a
need
Smothering
2 of
Tithe.
them at once. That's exactly what you need. So,
Yeah, I've been wanting to test the card out in Kefka.
yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Clever Impersonator has been insane too, and this card is just like awesome. So, yeah,
Even in Kefka at 4 mana, like in Kinnan makes total sense because Kinnan with the mana advantage, but that seems steep for Kefka, especially flashback 6.
Nah, 4 mana is nothing for Kefka. Kefka costs 5.
Sure. You do use that LED like crazy all the time too, so
Love me some
flashback is
LED.
no problem.
Love me some LED.
Yeah.
yeah, that's funny. I know in Rog Thras, I think it's really gonna be a great card too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. Cloning on
It
tappers and all
copies
that.
Cradle.
It does. Well, the only
Oh,
thing is that it still
I know.
is legendary, so we have to be able to. And when I say we, I was on the deck for like a month. I'm not really.
Yeah.
I'm not really a part of this we, but I'll still
Well,
say
it
it.
copies someone else's Cradle is part of it, right? So you can
Yeah.
steal the Cradle, and then also, yes, but like if Cradle's tapping for 6, it's a ritual. Is like the
Mhm.
idea, right? So it's like you know That's or like, well, if you're casting it the first from the front side, which
Right.
isn't all that good. But yeah, copying the untappers is a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Or just being able to like it's almost as a counter spell when they go to besage you, when they go
Yeah.
to besage
Oh,
you the cradle, you just
it
create the
is.
copy of it, and it's like, okay, yeah,
But
I'll go
that's
get a
insane.
land, and I'll get my copy of Cradle that's
Well,
untapped.
not quite. You won't get the land because of the legend rule still, right? Because it'll fizzle the
Well,
original.
well, you'll sack it to the right. Yeah, you won't get to go search for the
Yeah.
land, but yeah,
But it'll still. I mean, you still get a cradle, right? Like
you still get
whatever.
a Cradle. Yeah.
At flash speed, which is crazy. So
Hmm.
yeah, totally agree. I think those two decks are like it's gonna be. I don't exactly know what other decks it's gonna go in. I just know those are gonna be great with it. So I
Yeah.
think we'll have to see.
And to
Nice.
touch on the hexing squelcher,
Yeah.
in blue farm, like I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be probably a card in blue farm because you already have the 3 white effects. But I think in a Sans
Right.
white deck like
Right.
Rogthras or like VV or
Rockgrass, it's
something,
fantastic. Also,
I don't
yeah,
know.
Rockgrass just keeps getting good cards.
I'm
What's
definitely
going on?
trying it in Tim to Dargo. I mean,
yeah,
it's
well,
yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And I think it's good in Tim Dargo, but I think it's again worse than all the other ones. I
yeah,
would say.
I agree.
Yeah, it won me
I
2 games at Cosmic Crown on Kefka. So
yeah,
I'm
see,
a
and
believer.
that's
I
a
believe it.
Sans
Well,
white.
in Grixis though, I think
Yeah,
Grixis it's like
exactly.
probably
Rog
peak
size
because
gonna kill it.
Grixis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably where it shines the most. I would argue it's Holly too, but I think, I
Mhm.
mean,
Or VV maybe.
yeah, I mean these decks are gonna like it, but like still, I think just the best case scenario is these decks like Rogsai that make a lot of mana and don't already have those silence effects, but really want them. Yeah, Rogsai,
Yeah.
I think it's the best card in Rog. Like in all the decks it can go in, Rogsai is the best shell.
I agree. I agree.
Fair.
So we
It
had
won't break
one
the format. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. After
Yeah.
playing against it and playing with it, it's definitely not format breaking. It's
No.
I feel like it's format complementing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like people are cutting Abolisher because of the pips, and like people are getting away with just voice and just Ranger Captain, which I never got the logic in cutting Abolisher because pips and then leaving Ranger Captain, but I've been seeing it in a lot of
I think they've
lists.
been doing the opposite from what I've seen. They're cutting Ranger and leaving Abolisher from what I've seen.
Okay.
I don't know. But
What I'll
I'm sure there's
say
people doing both,
in,
right?
in Tim
Yeah.
to Dargo, I cut my rel for Squelcher.
That makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
No, Pyre of
Bring it
Heroes isn't
down.
as good. That's fine.
Yeah. Still gets me Technomancer. That's all I care about.
Yeah, it does. It gets
Or
the
Yawgmoth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we actually had an interesting question in chat. So it's kind of become a thing around the community that it's like a rite of passage to get a picture of you playing a game by FreedomWaffle, and everybody kind of gets one. And when they get a picture taken by you, they make it their profile picture, and it's kind of like I said, a rite of passage. So the question we had in chat was, how does it feel that having snapping people's pictures at tournaments being a rite of passage once people see themselves in the gallery?
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I'm stoked about that. This has been such a fun way to like combine my well, I mean, it's my career and my profession. It's like, but it's also another hobby of mine. And being able to not only like do that at the same time that I'm playing Magic, which is so cool, but also like I exchange photography services with TOs in exchange for travel. So what I do is I'll offer to go to your event and take photos. If you can pay my way there, give me entry and a place to stay, and I don't ask for any other pay on top of that, right? And then like I get to try to win money at the tournament. And
Mhm.
so it's been like so cool. Honestly, it's made the experience amazing. And yeah, I'm so glad that this has become a thing. Like honestly,
Yeah.
I love it. I don't
That's
know.
really
You never
cool.
know where things are gonna go, and this has been such a cool journey with that.
Mhm.
Definitely.
And so yeah, I love it. I don't know what else to say. That's awesome.
Yeah, we've got people in our Discord that have it, and like the person, the user that dropped the comment, like they were stoked, like, and that's their profile picture.
Yeah.
And like we've got a lot of SenCal guys, like I don't know if you know Luis,
Oh,
but
is
like
that
Luis
what
got
Ed's picture is? Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
awesome.
thing. It's a thing. I was like, man, I can't wait till I go to my next Freedom Waffle tournament. Maybe get
Dude,
a
hell
picture
yeah.
snapped.
I know. Now I've been like, because it's hard because I can't necessarily guarantee everyone gets a photo at these tournaments. I
Oh,
just
not
do
at
my
all.
best to
Right.
get
Yeah.
as much of the attendees as possible. But yeah, so hopefully I can get you next time. I always
Do
try.
you,
Yeah, definitely.
do you prefer taking more candid shots when you're doing like when you're actually looking for this, or do you like taking like the selfie pictures, or like or do you prefer the candid ones?
Well, like with the camera setup it's pretty hard to take a selfie picture with the current ones I
Or
have.
not,
So yeah,
yeah, I mean, not selfie, but like the posing ones
like
where they're
posed.
like,
I see,
yeah.
my bad. I understand what you're saying. No, I like candids. Candids are great. I think sometimes posed are fun too, but no, it's like uh I think like in the moment playing Magic is, you get the best shots. And I do think like when people are, if you see me, here's a tip to anyone listening and they want a good photo of them. The smiling shots look great. So just chuckle to yourself. Like the laughing shots look great. So if you see me
That's what,
there,
yeah.
tell a joke and laugh at it right away and I'll get it. I promise. It'll make your photo look way better.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
tip.
So do you go to just CDH events, or do you do things like Vegas, like MagicCon Vegas or Atlanta or anything like that?
Yeah. I've done a few of those. It's a little hard because like I think I'd be way more stoked about those if we had real CDH tournaments there. Currently, they just have like the single limit those,
Mhm.
and I mean, I'm CDH player first, and like obviously it's fun to like meet people and like network with other creators and people at those. But I've been to a few, but I don't go to them nearly as often as CDH tournaments, especially because now there are so many good CDH tournaments. So
Yeah,
and
and
also
a
I
lot
guess
of them are
the
like
other important
cons.
reason that I don't. Yeah, right, exactly. But I'm not a collector. I'm really not a collector at all. And so that
Okay,
makes it a
okay.
little like, I love Magic. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the art and everything. I love sometimes having some cool art, but like I'm playing because I enjoy like the mental challenge. I think it's so fun. Like obviously just like the actual playing the game, like the social aspect there, and just like, getting better at something is why I love Magic. It's not like I'm just not a big collector. And so those are cool, but they're not like
Makes
I
sense.
definitely don't make
Yeah.
as big of an effort to go to Magic Cons as tournaments that I'm excited for. So
Yeah, it's not
Totally.
as
Makes
attractive to
sense.
you as it is to people who are wanting all the shiny
yeah,
things and old school things and promos and all
totally.
that.
Yeah,
Right.
you're talking to 3 collectors right now. So,
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, I should have
Yeah.
said that. Oh.
yeah, I thought I'd let you cook a little bit before I revealed that info.
No,
So
all
funny,
good.
dude.
Totally get it.
I respect
Totally
the
good.
hustle, but it's just not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing? You said since high school?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, like I've gotten very into it for the past like 5 years, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah, see.
But on and off before that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I've been playing since '09. Nico's
Yeah.
been playing, I mean, what,
I
40, 50 years now?
I'm the old man of the group. I originally started playing in 1998 with the release of
Nice. An
Urza Saga.
OG.
Yeah, and then that was in like
Sick.
that was fifth grade, going into sixth grade at that point for me. So I played all
Nice.
through middle school, and then classic got into high school. This is a nerdy thing. Gonna sell all my stuff and get rid of it.
Yep.
The
Totally.
biggest regret I have is on the
Uh-oh.
seventh edition pre-release tournament. I pulled and kept a foil Birds of Paradise, the black border Bird of Paradise, and sold it that day for $100. Got a hundred
Oh,
dollar
how
bill
much
in
is
my
this worth
hand.
now? I don't even know.
Thousands.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it's like
no.
quadruple digits.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
easily
that's
a couple
tough.
thousand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty rough. But from
That's
there all the way
brutal.
up until 2020, similar to you, I stayed in touch with Magic on like the video game versions. Not Arena, but just like the
Yeah,
random ones that they came out with core sets every couple years and stuff.
cool.
And then had like a few experiences where just random people had cards, and I always knew how to play. Like I could always pick up a
Yeah.
deck, 60 card, whatever, and play. And then yeah, just COVID hit, and I'd already been getting back into Magic, and then yeah, the rest is history from there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've got some
Yeah.
OG knowledge. I've got some of the original books even in my collection,
Same.
from like the 90s and everything. So yeah, I'm a collector.
That's cool. I think also I'd be more stoked if I had like been there at that time. I mean, a lot of it is just like the whole money aspect of like it's a lot to get into, and like I try. Also, part of the focus for me is I like and like I don't know. Again, I like the cool having cool arts and everything, but it's like I specifically like I'm gonna spend money on events, not cards. That was a big thing I said to myself. I'm like
Mhm.
after. Well, after buying a CDH deck, right? Like I did spend a lot of money, but like, you know,
Yeah.
but then I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm gonna just like spend money on events so I can travel to these events more. And now, like with the photography, that's not as big of a deal, but it's still like I'm glad I have that mentality just for like just for my life, I just don't like. Again, I like the collecting. That's awesome, but it's just I want to save my money, right? Like it's hard to justify for me.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense.
Makes
How
sense.
So like I love minimalists. Like I'm like the complete
Yeah.
opposite of a minimalist, but like
Well,
I
see, I'm not a minimalist. I'll definitely tell you that. I'm spending it in other ways.
Right,
Like
right.
but I mean
Yeah.
like
I've been like,
that's more like
yeah,
min-maxing. Like, like you're
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Right.
totally. Like yeah,
I've been
I
like
idealize that.
gearing out my Forerunner to do some overlanding a lot more so I can like be off the grid and work and stuff, which has been super fun. So the money it's not minimalism, it's just going in other
Yeah.
places.
What Gen 4 do you have?
I've got a 2022 5th gen, and I've got it set up to like fully live in it for I don't know, at least a month at a time. And
Wow.
I have like, I can totally work remote, got the battery, solar, Starlink and everything. So I can work on the road, which has been super fun to do these like trips into the outdoors fully off the grid, which has been so cool. I love doing that.
I bet.
And
That's awesome.
I work as a cinematographer and editor. And so a lot of the time when I'm not shooting, I can edit. And that's like this year I've really been taking advantage of that and trying to like, do all these like road trip travels when I'm not playing in tournaments. So
That's
So
awesome.
we
That's
were
awesome
talking
stuff, man.
about island life, and that's like living out the island. But when you're gone for when you can live in your Forerunner for a month, like what is that lifestyle called?
desert life, it's very dry.
Desert life. Okay.
Southwest. But no, it's so cool. It's super fun. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because it's like I'm still working, and so it's still not island life. It's not island time. It's not as in I'm I have to be, doing something at a certain time, but it's
Yeah.
still really nice to be like, I take my camera and take photos of all these really cool places, and I love it. It's so cool. It doesn't happen like all the time, but last year I definitely went on like I was definitely traveling in it for at least a month total, not straight, but so I did like a 3-week trip and then like a week and a half and then a few other little ones. So yeah, hopefully this year I'm gonna do more or more than
Okay.
last year. I mean,
So we were talking about like the whole like the minimalist mentality, and you spend money on like trips. But when it comes to your Kinnan deck, do you play with a lot of proxies, or do you take a little bit of the collection aspect to that at least?
I don't try to like I don't like make the deck like I have all the real cards, but I don't once I have the real cards, like I don't really want to make it more than that. I don't bling out my deck. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Part of it though is because uh foils kringle so much in dry New Mexico. That's definitely part of it. Like I think
Sure.
I
Yeah.
try to
Okay.
avoid foils a lot of the time just because I don't use perfect cards. I use just like perfect fit sleeves, the inners. And so they like if I did that, like I put a couple foils in and I don't want mark cards, like I have a couple foils that are fine, but it's easier for me just not to. So yeah, I don't bling it out.
So
But
then
I do have the cards.
I'm also curious similarly, and sorry if we're digging too deep into this,
No, you're good.
but so like your tournament winnings then, if you're not getting cards or like store credit, are you actually getting cash payouts and stuff? Or did okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much like most of the tournaments now that are worth traveling to at least are cash payouts. So yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty cool. And again, it's like I'm treating this like it is now becoming I don't know if I'd say exactly career, but it's definitely side hustle, right? So it's like trying to
Sure.
Mhm.
I'm spending so much time on Magic, right? Like I'm trying to make it worth
Well,
it.
and you said you're flying all the time. So like, is it every weekend or every other? Like, would you say you have a rhythm or a bit of a pattern?
Every other
Obviously,
probably.
okay. And so yeah, just
And
going
this
to
year.
airports and hotels or crashing places, that's draining too. I used to travel a lot
Yeah,
for work years ago as well, so
totally.
I can definitely understand what that's like.
Yeah, and this last year is when it really ramped up, and then this year I have it. Yeah, I think until July it's like every other weekend, depending, right? But about that much, like so basically 2 per month is what I mean.
Yeah.
I've been getting it down a little more. I used to so like what I used to do every time because they were less frequent is I would go very hard on LobbyCon every time till very late, go out drinking, and we'd all have a great time at LobbyCon, which is still awesome. Don't get me wrong. That's so cool. Everyone should do that at events. It's awesome. Now I just take a little bit more of a like stance where I'm getting my sleep. I'm not gonna make Monday hell because right now, like what I'm trying to do is often work Mondays after the event, like while I'm flying back, just so that I'm not taking off as much time off work. Because it's like I can't take that much. Luckily, my job is awesome. They're like close friends of mine, like the people who started the company. We met in college and kind of the company grew together. But like, you know, again, I don't want to let them down by, taking off too much time on a salary job, right? That's tough.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just be like, yeah, that's been the trick is just like taking care of myself with these events rather than like hating my life on Monday. And that's done a lot. Like really, that helped a lot. That mentality switched, like made traveling
bet.
way better.
Yeah, I bet.
So,
Yeah, it's kind of how I felt after the Cosmic Crown this yesterday.
I was going to ask you guys, did you take our own advice from our own episode of how to do tournament prep and take care of yourselves and get rest and stay hydrated?
I mean, we did. Yeah, we stayed hydrated. Well, I mean, does beer count?
No,
Yes.
beer does not count.
It's liquid
Celsius's
carbs.
count?
Of course it counts.
Celsius count or Dutch Bros.
5-hour
But
energies.
I mean, we definitely got rest and stuff, but it was just I definitely should have taken Monday off because I was beat to shit Monday.
Yeah.
I
right. And I used to do that every time. Yeah, it was brutal.
yeah, I thought, I mean,
I
guess
wish I
still
could have
feel-
witnessed that because I have never seen you beat and with a dead battery like that, man. You are the Energizer Bunny. Yeah, with your drinking
Hey, I'm
Rockstar in the
currently
evening,
drinking
yeah.
coffee too. Yeah. That's
Nice. We got another chat question here. Where let's see, which universes beyond would you want and or redone?
ooh,
Do you
like a
have
new
an
one,
Yeah,
right?
do you have an IP out there that you really would want or love or get into?
God, that's a good question. I don't know if I have a good answer for that though. They've done a lot of them already, like a
Yeah,
ton.
they
And
pumped
I
them out
guess I'm
quickly.
kind of like I don't know. I'm some universes beyond are cool, but the fact that there's so many is a
So
little frustrating
quickly.
to me.
Yep.
Yeah, I
So
think they
like
should do
I don't
like
know if I
2 a year, right?
yeah, my answer
Like
is actually just no, less. Do less. I don't know. I know that's a terrible answer, but no, I
No,
don't
that's all
I
right.
guess yeah, I don't think so. Or not off the top of my head at least.
Yeah. I've got a question for you because you made me think of this when you were talking about having 4 or 5 Ristic studies.
Yeah.
What's your take on Ristic study being banned or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
100% yes.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
abusing it because I think it's broken, not because okay, I enjoy it. I do enjoy it, but like I don't know. I think a lot of people have said, like, for example, Blue Farm. A lot of people are like, nah, Blue Farm's boring. I don't think Blue Farm's boring to play. I think Blue Farm's super fun to play. It's about like every game's different. You have to find your window. You have to like navigate like, all these different decks, stacks, pieces, or interaction or whatever. It's always fun. I think Ristic Study is kind of similar for me. People say the same thing about Ristic Study, and that it's just like every game's a Ristic Study. Well, Ristic Study games are really hard. They're super fun. It's a crazy puzzle that has a lot of moving pieces, and like navigating your resources during those games is really hard. That being said, I think that they also make these play patterns where games last forever in a way that's not necessarily that meaningful. And like I think look, if two people at a table had Ristic Study every game, that'd be like one thing, or maybe like 1 to 2, right? But it's like a lot of times it's all four, and we get to these games that just get like bigger and bigger stack battles. And I think that like it kind of makes these games very hard to finish in these like weird situations. They can be fun. Like I've played. I remember one of these examples was an awesome game where I played against Triple Blue Farm at the Landgo Expo Invitational tournament last year, where it was a 5-hour game. It was the same day as the 11-hour finals. Same day, we set a record in top 16, and then they immediately surpassed it by like 6 hours. It was crazy. But so it was a 5-hour game, and like every single person in that pod went through their entire deck and cast every spell. They had the mana,
Wow.
like every castable interaction piece, like instant speed wise, and that was an incredible game. But like it was 5 hours. Like, is that really like what we want to be doing all the time? I don't know. So, anyways, point is, I think Ristic Study should go. I think it's broken. I think we get way more interesting decks because like it homogenizes the format to be blue, and I think that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So I think I'd have to rediscover what I'm doing in CDH, but that's okay. That's okay. I think it's worth
Me
it.
too. Me too.
Definitely. What's your gut tell you? Where would you pivot to right away?
I still like
First,
blue. I
yeah.
still like blue.
Some bad cards, Kinnan.
Yeah, mostly bad cards. Kinnan is probably what it'd be. Yeah. No, I don't know.
Simic
It
or
might not be Kinnan.
Grixis? Simic,
I mean, I like
Grixis.
blue. I don't actually mind. Like Simic is just because of the current the current deck is why I'm playing Simic. It's not really about the like green necessarily.
Sure.
Blue has been core for me forever though. Like I'm a blue player.
Yep.
And I guess there's because I've thought about this a lot. There's a
Dirty
real
blue
reason behind
players.
this. True. The reason behind this is that I want to have agency in a game, and I feel like games where I am just like fully sitting waiting because I got blue now. Like I played Roxai a lot, but like, and Roxai's a blue deck, but like, you know, a lot of times you get blown out early, and then you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And I want to have again agency. I don't want to be just watching the game for an hour and then
Exactly.
being sad and doing nothing. It's just like part of it is like part of it's the competitive part of me that I think blue is good, and part of it is just that I don't want to wait and do nothing for a while. So
You're
it'd be
making
blue, but
Cam and I are dying over here because that's what Julian talks about. Is he wants
yeah,
agency? He's been
Yeah,
saying that a
Buy
lot
a
agency.
lately.
nickel.
Yeah.
Buy a
I
nickel
play.
for every
I want
time
to
he used the
play.
word agency in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want
yeah,
to play the game. I want to be involved in the game. Otherwise, I
yeah.
wouldn't play this freaking game. Like,
I agree. And like, yeah, solitaire combo lines on turn 2 are super fun too when they work, but
when they work.
when they don't,
Yeah.
and they do a lot of the time. Like Roxai, Ral, they're fantastic decks. I'm not
Yeah.
like, you know, nothing against those decks. It's just, you know,
Yeah, I'm just not a turbo player though. That's the thing
yeah.
too. Is like if I'm playing blue, I'm playing the late game. Like my pet deck, my competitive deck is uh Tev Thras, like sushi,
Oh,
tentacle
nice.
sushi.
Yeah.
But just recently I saw Glacial City's take on Niv Mizzet,
Yeah.
and
Like the one that he's been playing forever.
yeah, I just like
Yeah.
I just kind of
Yeah.
recently
Yeah.
heard of who Glacial City is through Bite Sized. I think
Hmm.
did an interview with him, and I saw that he was like kind of the creator of the Niv deck, and I saw their list, and I was like, I'm building this for LobbyCon, so I built it. I was missing a couple of cards, but I filled it in with some pet cards and stuff, and yeah, I'm on the search
Good.
for the missing cards, and I'm gonna try and build it for maybe even for the 99 because it really felt good in my hands at LobbyCon. Well, LobbyCon, the
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
party for
I love
Cosmic.
it. Yeah. Shorikai has been a deck that I really enjoy playing. I haven't been playing it nearly as much anymore, but I still have it sleeved up. I should probably grab it. But that deck is super fun. And like I think, you know, it's like plays more like a control deck, but I think it's fun being able to keep up on the draw engines and then decide like which games are big, which games are small, meaning like which games get out of hand and let people have resources versus which you're cutting people off at being
Hmm.
not being able to play the game. Like playing an out of time and phasing out everyone's commanders for the rest of the game
I was
can be
just going
pretty
to talk
cool.
about that. We had a player recently who came to our last tournament here in town, and it was his first tournament ever. He just like walked in, came in from out of town, and he at least got top 16, if not even top 4 on Shorikai. And in the round I played
Sick.
him, he did an out of time, and just like
Yep.
all 3 of us were out. And it took him a few turns, but he got his mana in and he won. It was crazy, out of nowhere.
Yeah. No. That's actually the deck that I played right after the bans, right before jumping onto Kinnan, and kind of where I didn't come up with the whole copy enchantment stuff, but I think Isaac did. He goes by Isaac online as well. But anyways, regardless, that's when I really explored that, where it's like, okay, we can't tutor reliably for these draw engines, but they're the most broken thing to do. How can we do that in these like color limited decks? Like Azorius decks, Simic decks. And
Mm.
turns out if you just run a bunch of copy enchantments, someone else will put them into play for you.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Most
Why
of the
run
time.
white in a Demir deck for a Smothering Tithe when you can just play copy enchantment? Now you have one too, and it even
Exactly.
costs less.
Exactly.
I've been
Yes.
seeing Commandeer a lot more lately. Got my own
Love
Smothering
that.
Tithe commandeered recently. That was great.
Mhm.
I remember seeing that in Yuriko and being like, why don't other people play this? Like, this card is actually crazy.
Yeah.
And this
It's
is,
functioning.
to be fair, that was right before the Commandeer is still very good. I think its
Mhm.
peak is when there's a lot of turbo though, like Grixis turbo. And right after the bans, right before the bans, the Dockside Nadu ban, I mean, there was an insane amount of Rogsai, and I'm like, oh my god, this card is insane. It's
Mhm.
still very good, but I kind of hope Rogsai comes back around more for that reason. I want to commandeer some Adnoses. Oh, please.
Ah, that would feel great.
Right? Or Necropotence. Kinnan is the
Yep.
best Necropotence deck, and that's honestly true. I think it is.
Yeah.
If you
That's
can
pretty
name one.
cool.
So
We've got a chat question here. Top 5 CDH decks. What are your top 5?
Oh yeah. Good question. I think let's see. So I would say number one for me, that has in the last 3 months or so taken Tim Necrom's place is Kinnan. Which
Mhm.
is one of the reasons I'm playing it still.
I agree.
Kinnan's very good, and I think a lot of these decks that like for them to be good in my mind, just to explain a little bit of the logic behind it, is that I mean, obviously they have to perform, but I think that the reason that they're good is often they have the pivotability of going for win attempts while also being able to play the long game when necessary, right? Like they're not glass cannon decks, and they also are not control decks. Like they have to be able to do a little bit of both, and so Kinnan is that. Blue Farm's that. Blue Farm's number 2. So fantastic deck. I'd say I'm not sure exactly where I'd like have rank, like if the ranking is in order for 3 through 5, but I think Ral would be up there. Ral for sure. Rogthras for sure. I think that deck is very, very strong right now. And um maybe it'd be like between
Your suspense
I mean,
here
there's a
is
world
amazing.
it's just another mid-range blue deck, which is
Okay.
kind of a cop-out answer. That's not my real answer, but like that might be the case. Mid-range blue decks are good, but it might be a Tali or Timna Dargo as well. Those are
That's
like
exactly
both
what I was
decks.
thinking. Those are the 2 I was thinking.
Yeah,
Nice.
Really? I
totally,
was
and
thinking
they're both
Rogsai.
are pretty good. No, I don't think Rock Size. Personally, I don't think it's in the top 5. No,
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's in the top 10. And the reasoning is not because the deck's not powerful. It's because the deck gets blown out a lot right now. Even with Squelcher, I think it will continue to get blown out. Very like again, it's a strong deck, but I just don't think it's gonna like be like it'll get top cuts. It'll win tournaments, I'm sure, but just not like it just gets blown out by a lot of these again mid-range blue decks that are really good, right? Like I
Do you
put a
think it's a
Mystic
little
Remora down and I have all the interaction in the world, and you have to jam and lose, or maybe play the long game and I can beat you at that. And so it's like um with the amount of free interaction in the format right now, it's a little tough for me to justify that.
Okay.
Okay.
It's trying to read between the lines. Is it because you think it's too turbo, can't mid-range grind enough if necessary, or too glass cannony?
um I mean, I don't know. I think like it's very strong because it can go like oftentimes it's very turbo, right? Like that's the point of the deck. Yes, it has the fallback to Mystic Ristic, but like to a degree in those games, a lot of times it just gets attacked to death and then it has to
Yeah.
go in
Yeah.
windows that it doesn't want to if we're going to play the slow game.
Mhm.
And in the
Yeah.
fast game, yeah, it's good. It's got backup for its turn 2, turn 1 win attempt. But like when everyone else in the pod, which is not always true, but when everyone else in the pod has like, free interaction galore, then the blowout potential is just a lot higher than it used to be. And I think like if we end up in like I definitely think we're shifting away from that turbo meta. If we're in a turbo meta, Roxai, of course, gets better. And I respect the deck. I definitely think it's a really strong deck. I just think the meta has not been favoring it since the bans.
Makes
Fair.
sense. It's hard to win. It's a lot harder to win with Adnaz and Necro without Dockside.
Yeah.
Yeah, or even just Mana Crypt, like mattered to rate
Yeah,
one more
Mana
piece.
Crypt. Yep.
Yeah, one more free rock.
Yeah,
Man, I would love to have Mana Crypt and Tim Dargo. Or Jewel
I'd like to have
Lotus.
Mana Crypt
I just
again.
want JLo back.
Jewel Lotus needs to come back for real.
I just want JLo back.
Totally.
So this is a question I've been trying to weave in, but I haven't found the exact moment. But I know that we're kind of starting to get towards the end of this, so I want to touch on coaching. You offer coaching,
Yeah.
correct? How's that been
Yes.
going? Have you had
It's been
any?
going good.
Have you seen any success from your tutorees? I don't know what they would be called.
Yeah.
Your disciples.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. There's some people on the leaderboard that I've coached that are very high up now. I don't want to like, I mean, I'm not sure anyone's embarrassed to get coaching. I don't think you should be, but I don't want to like call that
Yeah,
out to like diminish anyone's
Right.
success without asking them first. Um, you know, probably be fine, but I'm not going to. But yeah, definitely there's some in the, like, I think the top 10 right now. There might be two that I've coached.
Nice.
And or at least top 20 for sure. And there's definitely been some successes. Coaching is super fun. It's get to theorize, talk about Magic a bunch, and watch people grow. It's awesome. And yeah, it's definitely a good way to like really jumpstart that learning process. And I think like what I tell most coaching students is that like the way that you should look at coaching is just like we talked about earlier. It's like learning how to practice properly, because regardless of any tips that myself or anyone else will give you, you have to just like put in the time and the effort to like get better at CDH. And I think like if you are thinking about the right things, being analytical about the right things, and working on the right areas, you're going to grow very quickly. And I think that's the real key. And so yeah, coaching can definitely be very helpful into making sure that like you're establishing the right habits is maybe another way to put
Mhm.
it. So yeah.
sure.
Well, we'll make sure to get your information, and we can
Yeah,
put it in our description so we can get that information out to our followers and stuff like that.
right on. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. To be honest, actually, you've been on top of my list for someone to reach out to for coaching. I just haven't had the time to talk to you about getting it settled in and dialed in, because been doing a lot of stuff with the podcast and traveling and stuff.
Yeah,
But
life's
but yeah,
busy, man.
I definitely want to
Let's
get
do it though.
a session in.
I'm in. Let's do it.
There you go.
So we don't have a date locked in yet, but look out for the All Valley 2 coming in July, more than likely,
Yeah.
which that'll hopefully also be a gold event.
Yep. And this is all in collaboration with Clovis Cards and Comics, our local LGS, who's trying to be the biggest spot for CDH in the Central Valley.
Yep. So,
Awesome.
Evan, you got some questions for us? Were you able to come up with some while we were kind of rapid firing them at you?
No, but I mean, I'm sure I could figure something out. Yeah,
Well, if
let's
not, you
see.
can
Let's
plug
see.
anything that you want. Any
Yeah, or your own
sites,
plug.
shops, handles,
Yeah,
anything you want to plug while you're here?
I'll just I'll say check out MTG Basics, the channel that I'm a part of. We do yeah, a lot of gameplay podcasts, and one thing that like has been something that I've been really spearheading and awesome, so stoked about, has been streaming events, doing live streaming of these tournaments and getting casters. We've had some awesome casters. Jan Kyle from That's a Good Card CDH from California, Hire from
Yes.
California, Alex
They're
Hire,
awesome.
and then
All
our
friends of the
from
channel.
Denver. Yeah, and Joseph Fago Pigeon has been commentating. They've all been amazing. There's been more too, but like we're just working on like really trying to take Magic live coverage, sorry, CEDH live coverage to the next level and match like what because I mean the Pro Tour has insanely good coverage. Our goal is to, with the budgets that we have, try to get as close to that as possible, by
Oh
working
yeah.
within what we can do, and like just trying to think outside the box and make it better. And so that's been a blast. But anyways, yeah. So check out MTG Basics. We're streaming the I don't know when this will come out, but we're streaming the Dallas 10K February 7th by Excalibur Events, and so that's going to be the next one we're doing. Alex Hire and Joseph Fago Pigeon Online. They'll be commentating. So
Sick.
Yeah,
should be fun.
this will probably release right before the beginning of February. So yeah, our
Okay,
viewers will be able
perfect.
to hear that. Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
Well, go to that event and watch the stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pigeon and Hire, their commentating's been really good. We actually interviewed Pigeon on here, and Hire we're going to be planning to interview as well. So both friends of the channel.
Sweet.
Definitely everybody who's listening, go and check out all of that because it's all good stuff.
So,
Sweet.
did you think of one or two?
No, I've been. My
You're-
mind doesn't multitask as well as I'd like it to.
Mid plug. Did you think of anything while you were
All right,
playing?
all right, all right. How
Mid
about this?
plug.
How about this? What do you guys have? What is your favorite bling Magic card that all of you have, since you're all collectors?
Good question.
Or
gonna go-
Magic,
Yeah.
whatever, and it doesn't have to be a card.
I think the one that I enjoy the most, it's actually kind of a toss-up because they're in the same deck. It's a foil Academy Rector and a foil Replenish.
Ooh, on theme together too. That's
Yeah.
gas.
Yeah.
Wait,
Those
what
are
deck? What
definitely
deck?
it's a casual deck. It's a
Yeah.
Bant enchantment deck. Geez, now I can't even think of the commander you
Amaranth.
put me on the spot. Yeah, Amaranth.
Oh
Amaranth
my
or
gosh!
Amaranth.
Come
Thank
in
you.
and
Yeah.
save you on your own deck.
Because I don't, you guys know I haven't been playing Magic as much lately the last couple months as I want to, and then when I'm playing, it's only CDH, not the casual stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's one of my pet decks, an enchantment deck, and so yeah, it's blinged out pretty well.
Sweet.
I think I currently have 2, and maybe after Vegas I will have a third. But I have my Judge foil Ristic Study, and
Mm.
I have my Judge foil Survival of the Fittest. And hopefully after Vegas I will have a
Okay.
Judge Cradle.
Ooh,
Judge
okay, yeah, that's
Cradle.
like
Wow,
yeah,
leveling
insane.
up there. That's top level.
Hopefully.
I'm rooting for you. You should
Yeah,
get it.
shout out to Mana Mart, who was at the Cosmic
Yeah.
Crown. Danny's awesome. Rob is awesome. We're gonna try and work a deal when we get to Vegas. So
Manamart's great. I've seen them a lot.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cam?
Mine was my Judge Demonic Tutor because I really like that one. But I recently picked up the Dan Frazier foil Chrome Mox, and I'm a big fan of that.
That's good. You guys do have bling. Okay, whatever.
Wasn't lying, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of the Urza's Destiny Legacy foils because those were the sets that came out when I first started
Yeah.
playing. And Urza Saga was not foil,
Throwback.
so it was and I'm forgetting offhand if Legacy or Destiny came first, but those were the first foil sets. And so to have foil rares, I mean the pull rate was just so low of those back then.
Oh, really?
And people at that time didn't really sleeve up decks either. So like, I mean, I remember guys, cradles, metalworkers, on
pain.
tables with no sleeves and stuff. Yeah.
Just rubbing them around,
Yeah.
tapping them up.
Riffle shuffling,
Infinite
4
tapping,
metalworkers.
tapping.
Yeah. 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 Brutal to the cards. For sure.
Pain. If only we
For
knew.
real. For real.
And I'm a sucker for nostalgia too. So to have these things in sleeves in my binders or like pull them out for tournaments or something like that, it's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
Awesome. Well, that was a good question. Thanks for letting us show off a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I got you. If I can't, you must.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap everything up then, unless you guys had any more questions, comments, or concerns. If not, then that is the show. Thank you to everybody who joined us here live tonight. And make sure you guys tune in with us every other Monday here at youtube.com/InResponseMTG25 for the live show. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube and follow us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on Instagram. We appreciate all the support and thank you all so much. Until next time, stay magical.